Hey everybody, it's Bill. This week at Spectrum, we're continuing to talk about God's great big family. The people who are in God's family, the places that God's family goes, and the type of things that God's family does. And our story this week is about Jacob wrestling with an angel at night. This is a story that takes place just before he goes to meet his estranged brother Esau, whom he's not seen for a long time. Jacob's really worried about how this meeting is going to go because he's heard that Esau is heading towards him with 400 men, and he's worried that he might want to reclaim the birthright that Jacob had stolen from him in an earlier story. And so he split all his possessions in half, sent them across the river, and also sent some welcome gifts ahead of him to try and appease Esau. He's really worried and anxious about how this meeting with his estranged brother is going to go. And the night before this meeting happens, Jacob has this vivid encounter where he wrestles with an unidentified person. We never see the person's face, we never hear the person's name. Some people say that it's God, some people say it's an angel, some people say it's a demon. It's not clear. But what is clear is that Jacob has a real struggle that lasts all night long. And at the end, this unidentified person asks Jacob to let him go. And Jacob says, "I won't let you go until you bless me." And so this person blesses Jacob, gives him a new name, Israel, and disappears into the sunrise. And Jacob rises from this struggle. He's limping because the person has hurt him. This person touched Jacob's hip. And so Jacob emerges not just with a new name and with a new identity as Israel, but also with a limp. Jacob emerges from this struggle and he's a completely different person. He's changed forever. Now, there's a lot that this story can teach us. One thing that I think it reminds us is that being a Christian doesn't keep bad things from happening to you. It doesn't mean that you'll never struggle. And I think Jacob's physical wrestling with this person at night mirrors an internal wrestling that's going on too, as he's struggling with who he is and what it means to have this blessing and this birthright, and what he's going to do with his brother Esau when he finally meets him. So being a Christian doesn't prevent you from struggling and suffering. But what this story does teach us is that God is with us when we struggle. It teaches us that God can work with us and that we can work with each other to find hope and peace on the other side of these struggles. Jacob goes on to meet his brother Esau, and they reconcile and they move forward in a positive direction. The children may not have experienced a significant struggle like many adults have, but they will know what it's like to have a really bad day. They may have seen or heard about some of the refugee families with children who are running away from war and other really bad situations. And that may be a way into this story, that you could reflect with them on what that's like, how God is with those people even when they're traveling, and what we can do as a part of God's family to support and encourage them. When we head downstairs, we'll have acted out the story during setting the scene. And you'll sit the kids in a circle and check in with them to hear how their week is gone. You can ask Bill's great big question and collect the offering. And then to review the story, we're going to play a game of giant pickup sticks. I got these from a shop, and they're just like the Wii ones, but much bigger. And if you've not played pickup sticks before, what you do is you drop all of the sticks on the floor, and your job is to try and pick up one stick without moving any others. You have to find whichever stick is on top and pick it up very carefully. And on each stick, I will have a word that has something to do with the story. And what you'll do for this game is split the kids into two teams, and it's generally easiest to just do boys versus girls. And for the kids to get a point for their team, they have to pick up their stick without moving the others, and then say how the word on their stick is related to the story. For example, if you pick up a stick and it has the word night on it, you could maybe say, Jacob wrestled with this person at nighttime. Or if it has the word Esau on it, you could say Jacob was going to meet his brother Esau. So just something about how the word on their stick relates to the story. And after everybody's had a turn, you can review the story just to make sure they know the people involved and the basic things that happened in this story. After that, we have a guest speaker, Alison Erlinger from SLA, Scottish Love in Action, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the home in India that SLA sponsors and some of the children there and some of their stories about how they have come through some really difficult situations and had a really positive experience as a result of their being able to stay in the school there and to get an education and what that's been like for them. I think it'll be really good for the kids to hear about other children in another part of the world. Allison has some pictures and some film clips that she's going to show, and she'll also be able to answer any questions that the kids have. If there's time after Allison's chat and you'd like an activity to do, what I think would be great is if the kids could color pictures of themselves to add to the family trees that we've been working on. So far we've added clouds, we've added animals, we've added house shapes, and if they could add themselves to the tree to remind us that everyone is a part of God's family, that is a great way to finish up the lesson, to remember it's not just people here or there, but all over the world that are a part of God's great big family. I hope that the lesson goes really well, and I look forward to hearing about it. Bye.